Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mongooli Show. We're going to be taking a look at all the stuff that happened last week, including the Old Man Logan trials, the new character vote, as well as the Mephisto rework, which is kind of everything, the only thing people are talking about right now. And then we're going to get into everything coming up next week, and in fact, all of June. We've got the new June calendar that we can take a look at. So let's get right into it. Starting off last Friday was the Old Man Logan event. Now, this event was something that a lot of people were looking forward to because Old Man Logan is completely insane. He's one of the best characters in the game right now, if not the best character. Well, maybe the best character when he first came out. Things have happened since then. We'll get to that. Anyways, the trial came out, and unfortunately, most people found it really, really simple, unlocking Wolverine within literally one node. If you can do node 14 or 15, which doesn't require any star requirements on any character, you can unlock Old Man Logan very, very quickly. Now, there's a positive here where it means that more people are going to get access to the new character, which is good, but some people found it as anticlimactic because they're looking forward to this character so much, and then he was just there. There was no struggle for him. You just got him instantly. Now, I did find this event actually pretty entertaining when I did it on difficulty 12, which is the highest I could do because of stargating. And yes, I did spend a little bit of money to get that far. But once I did push myself to the limits of what I could do, I actually had a good time with this event. I had every single Scourge on. We got a pretty good score. We're currently in the top 5,000, but there's only 2 more days left to go. So I'm thinking I am going to get a 6-star Logan out of this, which I'm really happy about. So while some people might declare that this wasn't a strong enough event or that it could have been harder, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out altogether. Do I wish it wasn't Stargated? Absolutely. I'd love to have pushed myself even further to see how far I could go. But all things considered, I don't think this was the worst event that could have happened. We'll get to that later. Hey guys, real quick, if you're struggling with any aspect of the Old Man Logan trial, I've got a video right here that you can follow. I go through which characters I used, I go through what ISOs you should have, which kill order you should go through. If you're struggling with any aspect, check out that video. Let's get back to it. The Dakin event started on Monday and has pretty much gone off without a hitch as best as I can tell. I haven't heard anybody really complaining about this one, other than maybe it's just lackluster. You can't get higher than a 2-star Dakin out of this event, which is a little unfortunate, especially considering you absolutely require a 3-star Dakin in order to get the bonus from the global event, the Mercs for whatever, the weekend blitzing thing. So that is a little unfortunate. We will get more of his shards slowly throughout the next 6 weeks, which is when that event is going on. Like, it happens every week for the next 6 weeks. So it's okay. It's not great. It's not what people are looking for here. But on the plus side, we are going to get some Crimson gear, so I'm not too upset about it. On Tuesday, we got this blog about the Spotlight raids, where Scopely fixed something we were complaining about and made a different problem, which is frustrating. So essentially what this originally looked like was there was going to be 4 different teams instead of 3 different teams. So everybody would have a lane partner, but then there would be enough lanes for everybody. They have decided that that's going to be too hard for alliances because that's what alliance captains were saying, is basically this is going to be a nightmare. So they changed it back to just 3 teams instead of 4, but they didn't add any lanes. So what you're seeing is a lot of people who will join the raid like within even an hour of it starting, and there's no raids for them to do. Everything is already done. We can only get halfway because Alpha Flight is the only thing you can use for the last half of this raid. And none of the, well, I guess the 2 reworks, but none of the new characters are out. So you can't even go into those nodes. So like 53.57% is the most you can possibly do. It gets done in about 5 minutes, and then you got nothing to do for 23.5 hours until it resets. And a lot of your alliance mates can't do anything. So good job. I don't know. There's also news that we're going to be getting less T4s from the raids. A lot of people complained about this, and they have gone back on this a little bit, saying that we will get T4s at least until I think it's the end of June, and then something will change again after that. They're going to take a look at the system. Basically, once you have all of the members to do Alpha Flight, then they'll change it back. But for now, they're going to just kind of leave it alone, so you will still be getting some T4s. It's just kind of a cluster of a rollout, to be perfectly honest, is what it is. There was also an issue with Cosmic Crucible. If you remember last week in the blog, we said that you would not be dropping a rank in Cosmic Crucible, and unfortunately, pretty much everybody did, except for the people who dropped 2 ranks, and the very, very lucky few who actually went up a rank level. Turns out there was no real way to fix this, so Scopely just decided to give everybody Masters 3 rewards. So if your rewards are incredible this season, or this week, that's why. But that's basically, I think, them saying, like, we don't know what to do, have some diamonds, go away. It is what it is. Honestly, I'm not super pissed off about this because I think the vast majority of people only went down one level. And quite frankly, up until Friday, like it happened on Saturday, and up until Friday, we all assumed we were going down a level anyways. So you were really only pissed off for 24 hours. Now, some people went up, and that's unfair, and some people went down 2 levels, and that's really unfair. And I totally sympathize for those people. For the vast majority of people, though, we just went down a level, which is honestly what we thought we were going to do anyways, and now we're getting diamonds as compensation for it. If you did go down multiple levels or went up a level, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll put your message up to Scopely, and maybe if you have a PID number or something, we can try and get you fixed back to where you're kind of supposed to be. But honestly, I'm not holding out hope for it. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about this one, but a blog came out this week saying that there was backlash after some of the feedback from the recent orbs or recent unlock method for Dakin, where people were supposed to be able to buy the Old Man Logan Awakened abilities and couldn't. So those are going to be coming back to the store. So if that's something you wanted to spend money on, it is coming back to the store. You can spend money on it now. This doesn't really affect me personally, and I'm assuming it doesn't affect a bunch of people. But for those who are interested, check for those offers. On the 29th, we also got a blog talking about the new war season changes and the room rules and stuff like that. I am not going to get into this because, quite frankly, I have not cared about war in a very long time. I'm sure Pathfinder and Dorky and probably even Valley have really great videos on this, and if you want to go check those people out, I totally get it. I'm not covering this, so I understand if you want to go somewhere else to get that news. The really big takeaway from this that I will touch on super briefly is a global rule where you're going to get 20% primary stats to defending war-ready Spider-Verse allies, and if they're not exhausted, they're going to spawn with 2 safeguard, offense up, and defense up. Put your Spider-Verse characters on defense, and they will be a nightmare. Big-time Spider-Man is going to be freaking rude this season. Other than that, go check out the other videos to see what the room rules are. All right, and the absolute talk of the town this week is the Mephisto rework. We don't know 100%, but the word on the street is that some of the Krakens were really upset that their brand new shiny Mephisto was getting beaten by free-to-play Cabal characters or teams, and so they decided to really pump this character up. I have not faced a Mephisto in Cosmic Crucible, so I don't have any direct knowledge of this. In fact, the only time I've gone against him is in the Old Man Logan trial, where, admittedly, I did one-shot him with my Cabal. So maybe there's some merit here. Now, what they're going to be doing is increasing... I'm just going to go over this super quickly. They're going to increase his health, armor, focus, and resist all by 50%. They're going to make some of his attacks unavoidable. They're going to allow you to apply exposed to the 2 mythic enemies with the highest health. And the big one is essentially exhaust doesn't really affect him anymore. He's still going to get his speed up. He's still going to get his empowered. Again, I haven't really played with or against this character, but essentially what that means is you can't just sack and then go into this, and it's going to be pretty hard to just bring Cabal in and one-shot it. So some people who play at that level, to looking at you, Duelim, have been saying that this might just be a stonewall. It's not necessarily a, oh, I sack it and then I win. It might be a, I sack it twice or I just can't get past it. If you're playing against Mephistos, or if you've got a Mephisto, let me know down in the comments how much you think this is going to change or affect this character. I'm still months away from having my own personally. I haven't even got a single character up to Gear 19 yet. It's not really been my focus just yet. So we'll see. But it's... I mean, who knows? The other thing is they could bring out a character down the road, like in 6 months or something, that just totally nerfs this character. So he's going to be a menace for a while, like, say, Super Skrull, and then they'll bring out the Black Knight to this character, which kind of puts him in check and puts him back down to the real level. Because, like, Super Skrull's a great character right now, but he's not a menace anymore, thanks to Black Knight. And Black Knight's also beatable, so it kind of gives you that rock, paper, scissors kind of effect. Maybe they'll do that for Mephisto down the road, but right here, right now, I'm thinking they just wanted to see the sales numbers. Honestly, I don't know. Just speculating, but why else would they do this if it's not for the fact, like, that people are seeing how he's doing in Cosmic Crucible and in War and just kind of going like, I'm going to focus on other things. We'll see. This week, we also got the rest of the Hivemind team coming to farmable options. So you've got Gwen in the Blitz store, and more importantly, in the Blitz Orb. If you've got enough of these saved up like I do, you can just kind of crack those open until you got her completely maxed out, which is nice. Red Goblin is available for Crucible points. You can see I already bought him for now. He's going to be the hardest one to farm because he's not in any orbs or anything. You just need to wait for him to show up in the store. And Void Knight is a guaranteed 5 in every single Spotlight raid orb. Now, I wasn't anticipating how many of these I would be getting on day one. I had 18 to open, and that maxed out my Void Knight. So he's already done, as is my Gwenum now because of those orbs. So this is pretty much just Ultimus food at this point. So I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm just going to save up all of these until the next character comes in and then crack them all open then, because right now there's not a single character in this orb that I need. So that's kind of disappointing on day one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to have a 7-star Void Knight. That's awesome. But there's no chase there. So it's just, I know this is a really weird thing to complain about. I'm not really complaining. It's just, it's anticlimactic. You know, I don't know. We'll see. I'll just start saving these up for the next character, kind of like I do with the Blitz orbs. Just waiting for the next character and then maxing them out instantly. You do you. If you still need the characters in there, it's worth opening right away. But if you're like me and they're all fully maxed out, there's not really much worth. I don't even think there's gold in it. I don't think so. Nope. Characters, Void Knight. Characters. Yeah, no gold, no nothing. Just save them up until you need a new character. Starting on Wednesday, a new poll came out where you can choose the next member of the team. It's going to be a rework for either Moon Knight here, who was always going to be an option, or Morbius, who was chosen to be an option because we all chose for those giant vampire wings. So whichever one you decide to go with, come over to the website, hit that button. You can see that Moon Knight is in a pretty decent lead at the moment, 66% to Morbius is 33%. I am still putting up a pretty good fight for Morbius. Honestly, I don't really care either way, other than I've already got diamonds on Morbius. Both of these characters are at level 1 for me, so we'll see which character actually wins. It's looking like it's going to be Moon Knight at this point. I'll probably start building that character up slowly over time. I was just kind of hoping, because I think I got 2 diamonds on Morbius, that I'd get lucky on that one, but oh well. Make sure you go vote. You do get 50 campaign energy and 50 power shards every time you vote, and you can vote every single day for the next couple of days. Oh, hey, sorry, I did want to mention I am doing a sponsorship right now for a game called Rush Royale. This is a tower defense game. It's got a little bit of card elements. You got to upgrade some characters. Got a little bit of character collection going on. It's a cutesy little game, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And the Twitch community has been super, super friendly in the limited amount of time that I've gone over there. Usually when you do a sponsorship, you only really play to the people who you bring with you. Not a lot of people like tourists in their gaming space. This gaming space has actually been incredibly welcoming to me. So I'm looking forward to getting more into this game. It's actually pretty fun. It's one of those games you can play for like 5 or 10 minutes. You don't have to sink like 2 hours every single day into it. So it'd be a good one for, you know, waiting for a bus or sitting on the toilet or whatever it is you do when you've got like 5 minutes and you've already done all your dailies in Marvel Strike Force. If you're interested, click the link below. I'll leave a link in the description. Play that game with me. It only takes about 20 minutes or so to hit your first reward level, which does help out this channel quite a bit financially. So if you're willing to do that for me, that'd be amazing. Otherwise, Commanders, let's get back into the rest of the video. And now we can get into the actual weekly blog. First thing we're going to take a look at is that North Star is coming to the game where you can spend 675 power cores to unlock orbs and try and get your North Star with the, you know, probably 3 or 4 shards, but potentially 180 shards that you can get. This is the same release method they've done for quite some time now, so we should know how this all is going. Keep in mind to be making sure that you are trying to get the red stars on him when his orb is available. After that, we're going to have the same showcase event that we've had for a while, but they are changing up just a little bit. It does mention join Old Man Logan and Alpha Flight, so you probably want Old Man Logan. I don't know. It doesn't say that he's necessary, but I'm going to assume he's highly recommended. It does mention that the secondary trait is X-Men, which would make sense. So make sure that your X-Men are powered up, and then as you get the Alpha Flight members, you'll be able to go higher and higher and higher in the challenges or bonus or whatever it is you're working on. Now, these events are available to you as soon as you're level 25 or higher, so they're great for new players. And I know my baby account loves these events because they tend to give a lot of shards for characters just by doing the test drive. So that's great. But for more higher end class characters or end game characters, they are changing the way the nodes work a little bit. So there's going to be more nodes, but you're going to be able to play them less, and they're going to have less rewards. Now, the overall rewards will be higher, but they'll be spread out amongst more nodes as opposed to less nodes. I don't know why. It is what it is. But the rewards are still there. They're not taking the rewards away. They're just going to spread them out a little bit more. Now, we mentioned the T4s before. Here's the actual announcement for it. We announced in a recent blog removing T4 ability materials from raid season leaderboards on June 9th as part of the raid reward reorganization. After reviewing feedback, we've decided to push back that date. As some Spotlight Raid reward tiers are unachievable until the full Alpha Flight team is available, which is still weeks away, T4 ability material will remain on the raid season rewards until the season starting June 23rd. So you got a couple more weeks of getting them, and then they're still going to go away. They're just pushing it back a little bit. I don't know. This is a weird decision, but it is what it is. I'm glad they're at least keeping them for a little while longer, but I don't know why they're getting rid of them entirely. The Alliance War Leaderboard Golds. The new season is going to start off on June 2nd, and for this season and this season only, they've increased gold rewards for the War Season leaderboards. You're going to want to make sure you're climbing that leaderboard as best you possibly can. I am sorry, my Alliance leader. I just don't enjoy war, but I'll do my best for you, I promise. And if there's more gold on the line, then maybe that'll be enough incentive for me. We'll see. All right, and in the month of June, we're going to be looking at Dakin shards. That's going to be what we're going to be unlocking. And this actually pretty sweet little frame here of the Northern Lights. I don't know how many people got that right away. I heard some people saying they didn't see it. I saw it right away. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of people are talking about Northern Lights in Canada now because you're actually able to see them, even though I'm pretty far south in Canada. All right, now I know that it's hard to see these charts, and so I do apologize. I'll kind of read off some of the stuff you're going to be getting, but essentially this is the monthly chart, and the main takeaway is you're going to get 100 Dakin shards on this. Now, if you've already got Dakin unlocked, which you should from the previous event, you're going to have 45 shards, which gives you a 2-star. You're going to get 100 shards here, which is enough for a 3, but not quite enough for a 4. So that is a little unfortunate. We can't get a 4-star from this. The Northern Lights frame is quite nice, and I actually am pretty happy with that. And you will get a bunch of augmented gear. I don't see any crimson gear here, unfortunately. There's a bunch of gold and training nodes and stuff like, no, maybe not training nodes. T2 level 4 ions, T3 ability orbs. Actually not seeing any training mats. My bad. My apologies. But anyways, the big takeaway here is Dakin is the thing character of the month, and the Northern Light frame looks pretty good. There's also a leaderboard for the month where you can get a 1, 2, or 3 diamond Dakin if you're in the top 1,000 players. 3 diamonds are only going to go to the top 75 players, so that's not many people, obviously. And then if you're in the top 3%, you can actually get some crimson gear as well. There's also some diamond dawn orbs and some T2 level 5 ions, so there's okay rewards here. And obviously, if you get in the top 1,000, there's great rewards. But for most people, it's okay. All right, and getting into the first actual event, it is called Sins of the Father. What you're going to want to do is spend campaign energy. That's just regular campaign, not incursion, not ISO8, just regular campaign energy. You want to raid with your Spider Society characters, and then, of course, the higher your Spider Society characters, the more points you're going to get. And you want to collect raid championship orb fragments, which you're going to get from the feeder event. So let's take a look at it. All right, the feeder is called In His Shadows. What you're going to be doing here is spending incursion energy at a rate of 2 to 1, so not as good as the last one, but still okay, as well as playing in raid battles for 60 points. Now, they did increase this number because there's going to be less nodes that you can go on, and they don't really want you fighting with your alliance mates, but unfortunately, there's not really a good way that you're not going to be fighting with your alliance mates because there's not that many raids. Now, the problem with this is if you're only doing Spotlight and Incursion, there's not enough wealth to go around for everybody, so you probably will need to open up like an Alpha or a Greek or a something to get that extra little bit of raid in for your entire alliance. This is a really, really bad event to be having right after releasing the Spotlight raids and not having enough nodes in the Spotlight raids. Like, this is kind of an instant bottleneck that didn't need to be there, which is really frustrating, but it is what it is. There are workarounds for it. You just need to make sure you're communicating with your alliance captains and whatnot and making sure they're starting enough raids so everybody can get paid. What you're looking to do here is about 9 raids a day, 10 if you can do it, but 9 raids a day. And on top of that, you're also going to want to be spending all of your incursion energy, which is 144 daily. If you do both of that, you should max out this event pretty handily, so that's not too bad. I wouldn't say spend power cores on incursion energy unless you're really, really hurting for raid energy. But if you can get another raid started and get some in there, that's the better way to go for sure. Now, as the Sins of the Father milestones, you're going to be looking at 36,320 if you complete this event. I know that's a weird number. It just is what it is. As well as 27,500 dog tags. So that's really nice. And 14,000 Raid Championship orbs. Now, the Raid Championship orbs, as well as the Sins of the Father milestone points, are both going to go towards the main event, whereas obviously the dog tags are going to go towards the monthly. All right, if you can complete the feeder event, you've spent your campaign energy, that's 1,108 every single day. So you're spending your 200 power cores doing that, refilling that. All right, so if you're able to complete the feeder event, as well as you've got your Spider Society unlocked for the raid, but I'm assuming you don't have any of them at 5 stars, so we're not including that, and you're spending your 200 power cores every single day on campaign energy, and you're spending your 1108 campaign energy every single day, what you're looking at is about 23,268 points from campaign, 3,500 points from raids, 14,000 points from the raid champion orbs, 36,320 points from the Sins of the Father milestone event, as well as whatever the web gift is going to be. We don't know that yet. So we're looking at base 77,000 points, which is enough for milestone 13. If you can get to milestone 13, you can get a whopping 10 Dakin shards, the Weapon X helmet, which is worth 50 points of dog tag points or whatever towards the month-long event, another 124,000 points in dog tags, 150 T4 training materials, 1.5 million gold, and 350,000 T2 level 4 IS ions. Now, of course, you'll also get a bunch of augmented gear and some other stuff that you just don't really care about all that much, but this is the stuff we're actually really interested in. Not a great event. Not bad. I wish there were more Dakin shards on the line, but he's going to be the month-long character, so we should be able to get him at very, very, very least to 3 stars. Hopefully there's a way to get him to 4 stars, but this is what we're looking at so far. We're also going to be doing a quick rumble with our A-Force team, so make sure you've got those characters all starred out. It doesn't really matter how built up they are. The blitzes are very easy to do, and you'll max out all these and get the dog tags from that. There's also a free claim for 5 more Dakin shards, so maybe we will be able to get to a 4-star Dakin by the end of the month. That would be amazing, but this is where we're at right now. And again, there's the Merc's Golden Bounty event, so keep in mind this happens every Saturday and Sunday for the next 6 weeks, so going into June and a little bit into July. I don't know, I'm thinking this is actually a really good event. It's about, for me, where I'm at, about 5.5 million gold every weekend, just free for doing a couple of blitzes, so I'm not complaining about it. Just remember that it exists and you need to do it, is basically the main factor. Now, obviously, June is Pride Month, and Marvel Strike Force and Scopely do celebrate that, and I think that's awesome. I wonder a little bit about this event, where for Pride Month, we're taking all the LGBTQ characters and hiding them, so you have to go hunting for them. The f***? All right, sure. I mean, I'm glad you're doing something, but is this the message? Whatever. Maybe I'm just being cynical. Who knows? But this just struck me as real weird. All right, and that's all we got for you this week. If you enjoyed this video and you made it this far, you probably did enjoy it, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to see more of this great content, hit subscribe. We just cleared 800. I'm hoping to hit 1,000 before my birthday, which is in October, so we got some time, but if you can help me get closer to that goal, that'd be greatly appreciated. We record live over at twitch.tv/The Mongooli Show on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So you can go over there, hit that follow button. You'll see when we go live, and you can join us over there. Other than that, Commanders, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. And until next time, good luck to you.